Oh, hello! Hold on, I gotta move the microphone. They're getting a lot of me right now, probably.
Nothing is better than a lot of you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, no. Tom, that's you. That's your phone.
That's me. Oh, no.
This isn't me this time.
Oh, no. What am I doing? Oh, my goodness
All right,
gracious.
and that's the show, guys. Be sure to follow us at facebook.com/Catt Kristen. Hello to everyone.
Once again, the professionalism in this show is just A1.
If you can't tell that this show is super hyper professional, you're just so incredibly wrong. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Catt and Kristen. My name is Shut Up Kristen.
And my name is Tomcat.
And together we are a cosplay superhero duo fighting crime in the cosplay community, one live show at a time.
One live show at a time.
One live show at a time.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That was too much fun.
We've got wine today.
That's not the reason why this is the way I am. Not in this lady.
We literally just poured this, so we're fine. We're
okay.
Not that it matters. Stop judging us. So anyway.
Who are you to judge us?
Anyway.
Any whoozle.
Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Hello to my dear Emily. She's one of my YouTube subscribers. She's in the comments. Yes.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, Emily.
Today we are naturally talking about, as the title suggests, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Cositivity.
I can't sing with my cold. I just get off key and instantly.
But no, that was good harmony in
Thank
that.
you. No, thanks. I usually can harmonize. I have not been able to on my sinus cold. I can barely say M's.
I
feel every time I will sing Lady Gaga's Million Reasons in my car, and that's the one, like, when you have a cold, M's sounds, you like feel it all here, and I'm like, you're giving me a million reasons to let you go. That's it. It's all going to hell.
I mean, if Patti LuPone can sing
That's
vowels.
true. That's true. Okay, I'm just putting the comments up on here as well, just in case we have any sort of technical issues. But if you're here, be sure to say hi so we know you're here, and also so that we know that all the comments are working. Yep, here we go.
Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. We both have to fuck it up at least. Yay! Oh, good. Yay for joining us. Yes, grab some wine and join us.
Grab some wine. I mean, I've officially declared, we are the Kathy Lee and Hoda of the cosplay community.
It's happened. Welcome.
Anyway.
Yes.
The reason why we wanted to bring this up was because in our last episode,
you cannot flip that the way you did the plate last episode. That is your phone.
That is my phone.
We don't have time for this.
We don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But, I'm just like, I'm waiting for the day when it just flies out of my head.
That's it.
Anywhoozle, this topic of conversation has been around since cosplay has just continued to get larger and larger and larger.
Yes.
And what everyone, I think, needs to understand first and foremost is that it isn't just plus-size cosplayers that get essentially shit on.
Yep.
By the masses.
Yeah.
There are people out there that will get shamed for going to the gym and being fit.
Yep.
There are people out there that get shamed for being too thin.
Yep.
How you can't, like, and I've had a number of conversations about this.
Yeah.
One example that, like, constantly sticks out in my head is when Disney had released designer villain dolls.
Oh, yes,
and
everyone was furious.
They made they made the Queen of Hearts and Ursula thin as rails.
Yeah, yep.
And
people were furious.
When I saw it, I was like, all right, that's Disney's doing. That's not, I mean, a lot of people complained to Disney. They complained to the Disney Corporation for promoting that type of body size.
Yes.
And
that, like, high fashion would translate into thin. Yeah.
So what ended up happening was there were a couple of cosplayers that did the group, and there was one cosplayer who was a thin version. The costume was magnificent.
Yeah.
The hair was great. The ear, like, the attention to detail was so beautiful. And people were just saying such horrible things.
Yeah.
Ursula isn't supposed to be thin. I don't know why you cosplayed as that. However, on the other tentacle, no pun intended, there was a plus-size cosplayer, and I cannot for the life of me... You know what? I'm going to look her up.
Do it.
But she did a fabulous plus-sized version of that cosplay.
Which I would have loved to see.
She didn't get nearly as much guff as the thin cosplayer.
It's interesting that that's literally the first example you would go to, because one of my dream cosplays is Ursula, and I will not...
I beg your pardon.
What? One of my dream cosplays has always been Ursula. Yeah, one of my dream cosplays is Ursula.
Shit.
The reason I have never done Ursula is because when I have brought this up very casually around some people that call themselves body positive cosplayers, they have said... You know, you really shouldn't do that. That cosplay belongs to people that are of a different size, and gave me shit about it just in conceptually talking about not making a skinny version of Ursula, doing just a normal Ursula cosplay in my own body, which I'm a thinner person. And I have 100%, I've never, yes, that is beautiful. And I love that version too. I'll be honest.
It's a breathtaking,
I do understand people
version.
getting upset about Disney doing that, because I do understand what they're saying is that like they're saying that the standard for high fashion is thin, and so I understand people getting upset about that, but to give then a cosplayer shit about doing that is really unfortunate.
I'm trying like hell to find the cosplayer's name.
That's a beautiful cosplay.
It's
That's
gorgeous,
stunning
cosplay.
We'll
cosplay.
Actually be sure we'll post that on our page. We should post that on our page.
We should post that on our
just
page.
as a quick shout out to that cosplayer, because that's a stunning cosplay.
Yes, it is.
But pretty much the whole... it's weird that this has never come up with us. Really, one of my dream cosplays is Ursula specifically, and I've never done it because I've gotten such shit before I even have begun making anything about the cosplay, about the idea of me cosplaying as Ursula.
You know, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share it to our page after the video.
After the video, go and give that cosplayer some love.
I mean, she is so beautiful.
She's unbelievable.
Another person
so well too. Sorry, she's just beautiful.
Another plus size cosplayer that gets away with doing Ursula very well is Rhapsody Artamo.
Yes, absolutely.
My God, the voice she has and the talent. Oh, what a beauty! But again, these are plus-sized cosplayers that are cosplaying as plus-sized characters.
Yeah.
So, by normal standards, it's okay. But when a thinner person wants to do that cosplay, it's just like I just don't understand what possesses a person to say you can't do this.
Yeah, I really like this comment from Dan, who says cosplay belongs to everyone, and it's really interesting because a lot of body positive conversations, people will say cosplay belongs to everyone, but then suddenly that ends. That doesn't apply to everyone, which is very weird. Like, you'll see a lot of people. This is the biggest problem that I have with all of this is, like, so I'm a thinner person. I've experienced skinny shaming before, which we will talk about more extensively in a little bit. And I've been told many, many times that that's not real, that's not a thing, that's not a whatever. But if you're going to stand there and say that you are a body positive cosplayer, that means all bodies. That means everybody. That means you should be against fat shaming, means you should be against skinny shaming, fitness shaming, shaming anybody's body that is not your own damn body. Like, you shouldn't be shaming your own body either, so take that out of the picture. So that's the big problem, and I really wish that everybody would take cosplay belongs to everyone, and really mean that. But in my experience, and I really hate to say that some really big body positive cosplayers have given me this shit before, and I wonder if they think about it for even a second, like how that makes a person in my body feel and how that makes me feel self-conscious about my own body.
Well, I mean, a lot of the times it comes back to the conversation of, can a person do blackface?
Yeah.
Now, race does not, under any circumstance, equate body type.
No.
So get that thought out your heads.
Yeah.
To the people that want to try and use it as an argument.
Yeah.
If you want to cosplay a larger character, you're within your rights to do so.
As long as I'm not putting on a fat suit or something.
Exactly. As long as it all has to do with not being
transforming
with
your own. Yeah.
One of the things that I did was I cosplayed as Cruella de Vil. Now, Cruella de Vil known for being thin as a rake, like
very
gaunt,
thin.
high cheekbones. Like, you know that she did coke quite liberally.
Yeah. Cruella was into that Coachella.
Yes.
She was into that Coachella.
She was into Coachella.
She was into that Coachella.
But one of the things that I did was I sort of made her more my size.
Right.
Like, I wore my corset, I wore my hips, I wore my breasts, and I rocked the cosplay. Because at the end of the day, it all has to do with having more confidence in yourself, building your self-confidence, and showing people that they can cosplay as whomever they damn well please.
Yeah.
As long as it's not offensive.
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly, if it would be very different if we were talking about a situation in which a thinner person put on a fat suit. You know?
If a thinner person put on a fat suit.
If a thinner person put on a fat suit. If I'm trying to equate that to the opposite, but there isn't.
There really isn't that without sounding disastrous.
Disastrous, yeah.
Because unfortunately, the only way that a larger body can become thinner is by means of makeup, usually waist training, usually, or the more forceful methods, which would be forcing someone to lurch their lunch.
Yes.
And you could hashtag that, lurch their lunch. But don't make it too popular because that's really, really, really disgusting.
Yes, very much so. But that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today because we think it goes a lot beyond what we see generally talked about. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's just such a weird... I've just had so many weird experiences, and I know that you've had weird experiences as well. So, again, as we always like to say at the beginning of these podcasts, we can only speak from our own experiences.
Like, I mean...
yeah.
I'm going to continue to use one of my experiences. Like, when I cosplay as Catwoman, I've gotten the whole... You're not fit. You're not athletic. You don't look that part. When I cosplayed as Poison Ivy, you're too hairy. You're too large, and it's just why bring that up? Now, mind you, this is what is usually talked about when it comes to body positivity in the cosplay community.
Right.
It's usually the larger people that get the most. What's the word I'm looking for?
Criticism?
Not even the most criticism. They get the most shielding and the most protection.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yes.
I'm trying to think of the word for it.
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean.
But when it comes to those that are skinny shamed, they don't have a voice. They don't have somebody that says, "Well, why are you telling me that I can't do this?"
Yeah.
And I'm really, really, really ashamed of the people that go forth and say, we all have to be body positive. We all have to be about body positivity. Everybody is beautiful.
And then don't stand by it.
And then as someone wants to cosplay a larger character, it's sort of like...
It's like this weird ownership thing. And I think this does actually play into race quite a bit as well.
Oh, yeah.
It does play into race a lot. Because there's like this weird thing of... feeling like a character is being taken away from you when in fact it's a character that's being celebrated. Like, let's say, like, I feel like I want to say this correctly, but I feel like there's almost something really great about all body types cosplaying one character because it shows that it's all body types.
Dan, my doll, oh, love of my life. Hold on, though. Isn't transformation and getting into the role or body size of your character part of the art of cosplay?
To be honest, I feel like the answer is no. I don't know. I think transforming into the character is shown through your costume. If you want, through the way that you act. Some people like to take on a role-playing thing as well. I think that there's a line. I think that there's, just like anything, I think that there's a line somewhere. I would feel incredibly uncomfortable if I ever put on a fat suit to, get into a character.
I have an interesting story to tell here.
Please do.
When last year or 2 years ago, I think it was for a photo shoot with Jason LeBoy, and he did a haunted house sort of situation where I was cosplaying as Ursula. After that photo shoot, I basically hung up the tentacles, and I haven't cosplayed as Ursula since. And then recently seeing so many people, like... now, mind you, I started going to the gym more. I started walking more. I started doing things to get myself in better shape.
Right, yeah.
Because I wanted to cosplay as characters that were more fit. Like, I had at one point a Nightwing costume. I cosplayed as Batman. I was really wanting to do more masculine characters as opposed to what I'm more known for. Mm-hmm. And then again, as I kept on seeing more girls cosplaying as Ariel, or yes, thank you, Ed. It was for the cosplay culture cover of it was for the cosplay culture cover. And one of the things that I kept on telling myself was, don't overeat. Don't go back to eating so much, because you know that you'll always be a great Ursula. You have the voice, you have the talent, you have like everything for it. But it wasn't enough for me. I needed to know that I was going to have that sort of curvy, voluptuous body. Right. So I took it upon myself, with a little help from, depression and anxiety.
It's funny how they're always willing to help.
I can speak freely about that. It's funny how
they're always willing to help depression and anxiety. They're always right there for you. Right there to jump in.
I started like eating more, and I started seeing my body change. And, like, I would put on my Ursula costume, and I would do it with my breasts in, and I would just, like, check my body and make sure that everything looked right. And, like, I started to see that I was looking more and more like Divine. Now, mind you, I am not as big as Divine. I do not wish to be as large as Divine was, but one of the things that I had when I had cosplayed as Ursula the first time was a bit more, cushion for the pushin'. And it's unfortunate, and I've had this conversation with a number of I've had this conversation with a number of individuals, and one of the things that I want to try and do is just sort of bulk up a little bit,
right?
And I want to be I want to try and go to the gym more often, but again, it's that sort of like mental argument that I have in my head where it's like, you still want to be Ursula. You still want to be Ursula. You still want to be this larger-than-life, large character. Right. And I can still do that.
Yeah, you can do that no matter what. I think Walter said something really interesting, too. Hold on one second. Walter had said that cosplaying as Superman helps motivate me to keep in shape. Exactly. And I think that's the difference. It's a motivation. But also, Dan had then said, for example, I've been dying to cosplay Roadhog, who I'm familiar with from Overwatch, but I'm not 400 pounds of fat and muscle. Why should anyone say shame on me for making a fat suit to make that cosplay? And Will said, the body inside a cosplay shouldn't be able to detract from the work a person has done, but the person will always judge. Reminds me of a story when Hugh Jackman put on a Wolverine costume and walked the show floor, and someone told him, whoa, man, way too tall. I think... Yeah, right? No, I remember that story, actually.
I remember that story, too. I wish I didn't, though.
I think my argument would be that I've seen a ton of Overwatch Roadhog cosplays where the body size hasn't mattered at all, and they've been great cosplays. I think the fat suit thing, to me, I just can't imagine that not being offensive on some level. How do you feel? That's how it would make me extremely uncomfortable. That's how I feel.
It depends on how it's done. There's a cosplayer.
That's true too.
There's a cosplayer who goes as Wonder Woe Bear.
Yes.
And he does bear versions of cosplays. He's done Bariel, he's done Bear, like Bat Bear or Bear Girl.
Yeah.
And he's done Bear Donna. He made a fat suit for himself. He's already a big guy, but he carries his weight very well. But he made this sort of belly that he marked with like black marker to indicate hair.
Right.
It really, really, really a great cosplay.
Yes, I've seen that one. I've literally seen that one in person. Yeah.
As a drag performer, that's his aesthetic. That's the image that he's put out there for himself. And, I mean, you could say you're offended by it. You can say that, well, that's in poor taste, but that's the shtick.
Yeah.
That's his performance.
Right. Yeah.
I think
and to be fair, I've seen him before and have never been offended by his stuff. I'm saying that I think as in my body, I would feel very uncomfortable doing that. I think.
And again, that all comes down to personal opinion.
It does come down to personal opinion. Yeah.
In Dan's case, I think him cosplaying as
Roadhog.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on how he would do it.
No, and I think I agree as well, because when I think about it, like, would that be a super cool cosplay if you pulled it off?
Because then it comes down to the question: how accurate of a cosplay do you want to have versus how comfortable of a cosplay do you want to have?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and I hope you know that I'm not shitting on you, Dan, by any means. This is an interesting conversation for sure. And I'm not shaming you whatsoever for what you're saying. I think it's just an interesting
way of looking at it.
I think it's it's something that I've never considered ever. And if I were to ever do an Ursula cosplay, there's no way that I would ever try to add any more weight to myself. Like, there's no way that I would create any sort of fat suit. But that's, again, I guess that is personal opinion. But I just see that unfolding, at a convention.
And I
see that really,
devolve, not devolving, but
being judged highly for that.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know the answer, to be honest. That's why we have the conversations. But I think a lot of it is in the execution. It is in the execution of it. And are you putting on a fat suit and mocking people that are of a larger size? Are you putting on a costume and perfectly matching the character?
That is definitely I don't want to keep on equating it to race, but it sort of falls.
No, but it feels exactly like that.
It falls in line with it.
Yeah.
Because you're cosplaying is something that you're not.
You're not, exactly.
You can. Yeah. Oh, God will get me for this. At the end of the cosplay day, you can take off the fat suit.
Yeah.
There are larger people out there that can't take off the fat suit. And, I know that's a really terrible thing to say.
No, but that's the way that I understand, because that's how I would feel about it as well. I would never want anybody to think that I was mocking them or trying to... it's just such a... It's touchy territory.
It's touchy territory. But on the other tentacle... I keep on saying that. I should stop saying that. But on the other hand, think about it if the roles were flipped.
Right.
If it were the black person cosplaying as a white character.
Right.
Think about it as the, I don't want to say this. Don't fuck it up, Tom. Don't fuck it up.
I know, that's exactly. These are all touchy things, so please keep in mind that we're always trying to phrase it as best as we can.
Yes. Think about it as like you said, the skinny person cosplaying as the fat person cosplaying as the skinny character.
Yeah. Nothing would be...
would anybody say anything
Nothing
about
would say
it?
anything.
And I think it's in that there's a lot of...
There's a big double standard.
There's a humongous double standard.
Day says, I can relate to this. There are many characters I want to cosplay, but I feel I can't pull it off because of my weight and race. And I've realized that it shouldn't matter because at the end of the day, we are all playing make-believe. And that's the other big thing. We're all playing...
That's it!
We're all adults. We are all adults in cosplays, running around pretending to be people we're not. I just think it's something we should all be thinking about. That's all. When we start to do it, we should all be thinking about it. And thinking about the way that we treat people of other sizes. Being just a little bit more sensitive to people of other sizes. Not only looking at people that are overweight and coming to their defense. Or not overweight, but that are, that are larger. I don't even know how to phrase this. How do I phrase this? In a good way.
Plus size.
Plus size. That are plus size. Thank you. That are plus size. Going up to people that are plus size and defending them, but then not jumping to the defense of people that are super into fitness that are being criticized, that are super skinny being, criticized. It's just, there's a big double standard, and I think a lot of people don't see it. I think a lot of people are doing it unintentionally, and I think it's something that we should just be talking about.
It is. It's a conversation that we really should be having more fluidly and more frequently. And we use terms we use these terms as a way to, I guess in a roundabout way, educate.
Yeah.
And we want to create this sort of leveled playing field.
Yeah.
Where everyone can just come together and express themselves in a way that is conducive.
Yeah.
Because again, we have the comment section, and more often than not, it's been very
productive.
It's been very productive, and we've been having conversations about it. And there needs to be more of that. There needs to be more conversations about all of these things that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it all has to do with body positivity. I mean, with all these sorts of positive ways of thinking. This alcohol is really hitting me. Having said that. I do think that a lot of the times, plus-sized individuals will have more people come to their rescue than skinny people do. And I personally find that that's wrong.
Yeah.
I feel that if a person is getting shit on, or if a person is getting made fun of for being too thin or being in shape.
Yeah. If you don't think it's happening, it's happening. Just to put that on perspective.
Just because it isn't happening to you doesn't mean it isn't happening.
Bam. Cheers. Bam.
I'll have some more.
I'll just take a little sip. Yeah. So this is like a thing that definitely comes up a lot for me.
Yes, please. We've been talking so much about my experiences.
Not at all. Please, no. Because it's kind of bizarre. And Nikki, you came up in our last stream, and I remember this. Nikki, you were talking about your experiences as well. This is something I made a YouTube video on last year, and I was really pleased by the response of a lot of people being like, "Yep, this happened to me. It's totally real. Completely see where you're coming from." Of people will come up to me and very often take the validation away from what I'm saying. At conventions, they'll be like, even if I get a cosplay photo back and I'm like, oh, I don't love the angle on that cosplay. Like, I don't love the angle on that. I don't really love how my body looks. And they're like, oh my God, shut up, eat a burger, whatever. Responses like that. I get all the time. If I ever express any sort of thing at a convention about me feeling uncomfortable about my body, it's completely treated like I could not possibly have any insecurities ever. Spoiler alert, literally nobody feels comfortable in their body 24/7. That's not a thing. People. And I will have people come up to me and say, you're not busty enough to be in this cosplay. You're too skinny to be in this cosplay. You look like a rail in this. You look like a this in this. You look like a whatever. It goes on and on and on. It happens often. And this is a thing that's happened my entire life. I am used to it on some level. But it also definitely happens in the cosplay community. And I think it's something that people should really just think about it. Think about it before you're saying it. Would you say that to honestly, sometimes flip it. Would you say that to a person that was a plus size cosplayer? Would you say that thing to that person? Would you say that to anybody?
There was a meme that was going around recently, and of course I saw it on Tumblr, where it was, I think it was an acronym.
Okay.
It was an acronym or an anagram, one of the two.
Right.
And it basically had, think about what you're saying before you actually say it. Is this going to offend somebody? Is it going to move the conversation in a way that is conducive and productive and progressive?
Yeah.
Is it something that you can, not sound smart, but is it something that you know a lot about?
Yeah.
And it's these simple things that you can basically take, a lot of the conversations that go on in my household usually start with an opinion, and then I'll combat it with fact that I've actually looked up, which usually ends in, oh God, he looked on his phone, he looked it up. I'm sorry, I'm educating myself. You should too.
Yes. There's a lot. Yeah, we literally. I asked about her name last time too. Is it Nadell? Nadell. I said the same thing last stream, so I apologize. She said, I don't remember her name, but this one girl who cosplayed Ursula. We talked about this at the beginning of the stream. Exactly. It's very unfair. It's very unfair to shame anybody for any sort of cosplay they're doing, unless it is genuinely offensive, like the blackface stuff and the whatever. And again, if I put on a fat suit and was mocking people that are larger than I am, that's awful. But those are very different things. And the skinny shaming is a real thing, and it really gets devalued a lot. Same thing with the fitness shaming. And I think Nikki had said something. Hold on. She's just saying yes, yes, yes. She says, me, I have a hyperactive thyroid and I'm tiny. I can't help that. So I'm working out to get something on me. Turn a negative into a positive.
And that's something that people don't understand. And I've seen this posted everywhere. Everyone is fighting a battle that you don't see.
Yeah.
Everyone is feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
And they won't see it because they have to put on this facade.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be shamed for doing that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be shamed for, like, being confident, like, being self-confident in themselves, because if you put it out there and you show enough people, you start to believe it yourself.
Completely.
And I've had to do that. I've had to do that a number of times.
No, and that's the same thing. I mean, I definitely have a good relationship with my body overall. Do I have days where I don't have a good relationship with my body? Absolutely.
Everybody has days where they feel
Everybody does.
Where they look too where they look too thin, where they look too bloated, where they look too something. No one is perfect.
Nobody.
Unless you're Tomcat.
And exactly. And Walter said it too. I'm more my own worst critic when it comes to my body. And we all are. And like, you're not telling me anything that I haven't thought about myself before.
And when you have somebody saying, well, you can't do that because you're a certain body type, it's just great. Rain on my parade some more.
However, and it's the same thing of, like, I hate to keep on bringing it back that there sometimes is a double standard where people will be like, no, that person can absolutely, that's a skinny character and you can absolutely.
Harley cosplayers, I've seen it with so much.
And it's like the opposite is just never defended for thinner people, and it's very
one-sided.
It's very one-sided, and I would just really like to say that if you're saying that you're body positive, to please think about all angles of that. I have dealt with so much shit in my life for being thinner before. I've been severely bullied for being thin before. It has not been as smooth a ride as I think a lot of people think it thinks it is. I was, like, so incredibly... There have been so many instances in my life where it has felt like a bad thing because other people have made me feel like shit about my body. So it's a thing, we all are going through it. All of us.
I would like to read Nadelle's comment.
Yes.
I can't with skinny shaming, or like my sister calls it, curve shaming. I've got thick hips and I've got a bit of fluff in my tummy, so I will shy away or feel extremely anxious wearing sexier costumes. But it's so bizarre and wrong to me to hear about someone who is fit or tall and slender being shamed for not having a big enough ass or breasts. Like, why?
I was once featured.
Here's something that I want to say, and it's gonna sound shitty, but everyone is going to complain about how a costume looks. Yeah. More often than not, a lot of it has to do with how you react to it. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that we have to have this mentality because, not a lot of people will view it as respectable. Yeah. Or as respectful or respectable. Yeah. Thank you so much for the wine. Thank you so much for the wine. No, you are not filling up my glass again.
I looked at it. You saw me look at it.
I saw it. I was like, nope, that's not what's happening right now.
It's happening, y'all.
But I want people to understand that I do want people to build a thicker skin, but I also want people to understand that how you react to it engages in who will come after you.
Completely.
Like, I will rock my body. Like, there are times when when someone will share a picture of me or post a picture of me or what have you, and then someone will comment something really crass.
I was just about to mention.
And I will go after them and I'll say, well, why do you find that funny? What's funny about my cosplay? And I want to start that dialogue. Usually, if I'm respectable enough or if I'm in a mood. Yep. Will determine how the conversation goes. Yeah. It all is determined by how you react to how someone is going to come for you. And one of the best things that I could say is, if someone comes for you, the best response is, don't come for me unless I call for you.
It's true, yeah. I had this experience when I did my Suicide Squad Harley, 3 years ago now, and I was featured on this big page. I was super excited about it, and the first comment on this picture about me was, lol, is that a dude? And I was like, and then he commented again, and he's like,
if he wants to see a dude, I'll cosplay.
He commented again and was like, said something about my ass and my breasts. And I'll give the page a lot of credit. The page responded really, really well. And
That's usually a good
I
thing.
felt so bad too because this page had featured me and I messaged them privately and I was like, I'm so sorry that shit unfolded in your comment section. I'm so sorry. And they were really lovely about it. But I felt so like, I was like, why is this a thing? Why do we have to like go after, and if I were a dude, why would that be a problem? This is all like, it's such a bizarre, it happens, and it happens to people that are fit as well. People will be like, you're only doing that to get attention. You're only doing that for, the
LGBT community.
Yeah, do it up.
Infamous. Specifically bears. They can sometimes be a little aggressive when it comes to the homosexuals that are thin and like conventionally pretty and muscular. And I'm sorry. You should be happy that someone is taking their physical health into consideration. And you should be happy that I've been trying to go to the gym more, and I've been trying to like get a trimmer waist and like get a better body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people find it. Go ahead, speak. I see the smile on your face.
Can I tell you too?
Go right ahead.
So as
speak your truth.
The flip side of that too, I'm someone that I go to the gym. I go to the gym, like, not a ton, but enough.
Consistently. You go to the gym consistently.
I go to the gym consistently. I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I am constantly, whenever I say that to anybody, they're like, why do you do that? You're already thin. Why would you do that? Why do you spend your time doing that? Why are you this? Why are you that? What are you trying to be? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get more attention? Yada, yada. It is unbelievable. Guys, I just want to work out because I'm fucking tired all the time. You don't see how I eat. I eat so terribly. It's awful. I am not a healthy person. I want you to know.
We just ate a pizza last episode.
What? Do you like? That's another thing. Like, if you're looking at a skinny person, you think they're automatically healthy. There's a good chance they ain't. I am not healthy at all, and that is why I go to the gym. That is why I go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I need fucking energy, and I need to get healthy. And I need to do these things. And sometimes even when I'll post clean eating things, they will be like, why are you eating clean? You're already thin. None of your fucking business.
A lot of the times, people will shame thinner people just based on how they look.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. Like, there are times when I'll see, and I'm so proud of these girls, these bigger girls posting they're doing splits, they're working poles.
Yes, so great.
They're like working their bodies, and you're like, damn, they are fit, even though they're plus size.
Yeah.
Another thing, one of the big things that I'd like to talk about specifically is body dysmorphia and body dysphoria.
Yeah.
I don't believe I know exactly the difference between the two, but I know that they're not interchangeable.
Do you want me to look it up?
If you can, that'd be fabulous. Yes, please.
I'll look it up.
You know what? Your phone is you're reading comments. I'll do the thing.
And in the meantime, Nikki says, I work out to feel fit. Exactly. And we're allowed to do that. We should be allowed to do that. Everybody should just mind their own damn business, if you're asking me. Just be concerned about yourself. If you're concerned that somebody is doing something unhealthy or is hurting themselves in some way, it's a very different conversation. But that's a conversation to be had privately and isn't to be had with hate comments or with awful, demeaning comments. Walter says, I hate to hear that day. It's sad that we still have to deal with issues these days. It's crazy. We dress as superhero characters that represent hope, love, and faith. Yet people do the opposite in the cosplay. They spread hate and negativity, and that's not cool. And that is sometimes what happens.
That is sometimes what happens.
Yeah.
It's rather disgusting, in my opinion.
It is.
Body dysmorphia.
Yes, back to you.
To people that don't know, BDD, which is body dysmorphia disorder, is something that is characterized as someone that has a mental illness that makes them feel like any part of their body isn't attractive, and they will constantly see those flaws.
Yeah.
I have a few friends that have body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening to see them because they are very attractive and they are fit in their own way.
Yeah.
But they don't feel that way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, you don't know their story. So
if
you're shitting on them, you're just going to make it worse.
You have no idea what's happening with anybody. Remember that always.
One of the things that I like to point out is no one is perfect. And you don't know someone's story. So unless you go out of your way to talk to them and be a mindful motherfucker, you're not going to know.
Can we get mindful motherfucker shirts?
Yes, we can. And we'll have Samuel L. Jackson above it.
Perfect.
Like, be a mindful motherfucker.
Be a mindful motherfucker.
And I want people to understand that your words... I'm gonna take something from a golden bag of wisdom again. And this one comes from Cher, actually.
Oh, thank God. God bless.
One of the lyrics from her songs, If I Could Turn Back Time, words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I know.
I'm like so in love with you. It's I don't even know how to express these emotions. Like, am I in love with you?
I mean, it's possible. I'm in love with you.
Okay, great. Bae.
Your words have effects on people. Mm-hmm. And how you present those words is, number one, your own doing. Mm-hmm. But just know that they're going to have an effect on someone. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say, treat everyone like a snowflake. Everyone's a snowflake. Because that's bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
People are strong enough to understand what a person is saying in person.
Yeah. It's very different in text.
It's very different through text format. Mm-hmm. And you can offend somebody. Like, the words that I'm saying right now, you can take in an incredibly offensive way if you're heated enough.
And even if you feel like you know a person, it can be really, really difficult sometimes to catch their vibe, to catch their waves on through text. Every once in a while, there'll be something that like you get from somebody and you're like, I know this person really well, but I can't gauge what they mean by this.
I think I'm gonna attempt something here. I'm gonna read Nadel's most recent comment.
Do it up.
Oh yeah. Because people want and expect perfection. I like my anime and video game characters, but we are human. We all have our health issues and things in life that makes us who we are physically. So I can never judge or look down on someone for physically looking different from their character. I like how cosplay will allow many to accept... Do you hear, like... If you hear it in that sort of monotone, droll, drab type of... Yes, go ahead.
Siri, what's the weather like? Siri, is it raining?
So I can never judge or look down on... Where the hell was I?
You were somewhere. I can never look or judge down on someone for physically looking different from their character. I like how cosplay will allow many to excel and rise as artists, entertainers, designers, and allow for people to make money off of it. But at the end of the day, we're just adults, like I said, who are doing what the little ones do on Halloween, but more often. Men and women weren't born to be physically perfect like our favorite video game and anime movie counterparts. If some are lucky to have mesomorphic body types. Thank you. With little body fat and good muscle, then good for them, but that's not for everybody. People should just be allowed to enjoy themselves in cosplay without stupid judgments. Preach louder for the people in the back, please, and thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just disheartening.
I wish like hell, people didn't feel it necessary to come after someone for how they cosplay.
Exactly.
And again, it's tale as old as fucking time.
It's true.
Be mindful. Mm-hmm. Understand that if you cosplay a certain character, like again, we'll use blackface. If you cosplay to offend,
that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. It's all very,
are we touching on a very sensitive issue? Yes, we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very, very, very sensitive topic. And I want people to understand that when you cosplay, as long as you're mindful and respectful of boundaries and other people's, I mean, I don't want to keep on using other people's opinions, but just be mindful of who and what you're cosplaying as. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else we can say on the subject, to tell you the God's gracious truth.
No. You have to just, go ahead. We're at
we're
50 minutes.
We're almost at 50 minutes.
These are every week. These are slowly getting closer to an hour.
Slowly getting close to that hour mark.
Slowly creeping. But it's also because you guys are providing excellent comments.
Yes,
we really
excellent
appreciate
color commentary.
the feedback and the personal experience. That's, again, we can only speak from our experiences. We love hearing other people's experiences because some of them make us then aware to, maybe you went into this video today and you really didn't know that skinny shaming was a thing. I hope you leave today knowing that it is a thing that's happening, and maybe just choose your words a little more carefully. Maybe think a little bit about what somebody else might be thinking. If you didn't happen to know that like body positivity around fat shaming and all that sort of stuff was a thing, I hope you leave this being more mindful of that and just being more respectful towards others. You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, Tom's getting the demons out. So, meanwhile...
I'm going to cough up a
while an exorcism is happening next to me, just be more respectful. Was it the ghost of Christmas past? Because are they coming for me?
Hello. Now, for those of you just... this is going to be a little El Differente.
This is...
As you can see, Kristen over here is no ventriloquist. But it doesn't matter, you see, because I'm no fucking dummy.
The retitling this episode. The episode where everything just goes to shit. Oh my gosh. But we appreciate all of the comments and whatnot. And we hope that everybody just leaves being more respectful. Being more open to other people's experiences and that they are, and validating those experiences. You know, it's a real thing.
And again, we are not saying anything here to shit on other individuals.
No, not even in the slightest.
We just want people to understand that what they do might not exactly be PC. And if your shtick is not to be politically correct, then go with toodaloo, go with God, and don't take any wooden nickels.
Yeah, and also I see a lot of people, the last thing that I really just want to say on it is that I see a lot of people that try to compare all of these experiences. And I feel like there's no reason to compare. Is fat shaming worse than skinny shaming? Is skinny shaming worse than fitness shaming? Is fitness shaming worse than fat shaming? They're all things that are happening. We don't have to... all of them are resulting in a thing making a person feel more uncomfortable in their body.
It all has to do with shitting on a person. And I don't understand why that's a thing.
I will never know if my experience is worse than another person's, if theirs is worse than mine. The only thing we can be is empathetic.
I will say this. Yeah. There can be an instance where someone is getting shit on more than another individual, but that doesn't make it worse than.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you could be shamed once this entire week. Someone else could be shamed three times during this week.
Yep.
So it really all depends on a person's personal experience.
Yeah.
We, as only two people that have been at this game for a little bit longer than most individuals, is that everyone's experience is going to be different.
Yeah, it's everyone's, and we should just be more understanding of everybody's experience. And that's really that. I feel like I would love to know some of your other experiences. And just in general, if you see somebody being shit on, again, say something, go up to them, reaffirm them in some way that, you know, these things aren't true. Try to be there for people. And just be respectful and kind to other people. You never know what people are going through. You never know if they are going through something much more to do with their body experience.
Yes.
You know, you never know if they have body
dysmorphia. You never know. You don't know what someone's going through until you strike up a conversation.
Completely.
And then at that point, you could become friends. And that's how you become friends in the cosplay community.
We did an episode on
this.
Shameless plug. Love it. Live it.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't talk about a cosplayer for the week before this.
No, we didn't. But you know something? I was thinking about it in the back of my mind. I was thinking about it in the back of my mind. As y'all know, last week was Lua.
Yes.
And we love and adore her to death.
Love.
And if you haven't been keeping track, it's been boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. I mean, that's going to be how it is until a trans individual.
Yeah.
Until I find, I mean, if you can recommend us to trans cosplayers, please do.
Please do. We would love to. We've been switching on and off just so that we make sure that we have equal representation, because to be honest, I feel like a lot of I'm constantly like, I want to find more male cosplayers. I feel like it's a very female saturated community.
Yes.
And I would love to find more male cosplayers. I think it's been an amazing time to find more. If you guys know of transgender cosplayers, please let us know.
Please email us, message us, what have you.
Exactly.
Our cosplayer for this week is Canvas Cosplay.
Yes! Yay! That's such a good choice.
Yes.
Yay!
To those that don't know, Canvas Cosplay is a plus-size cosplayer.
Yep. Yes.
Who also does crossplay.
Yes, completely.
I mean, what a talent.
Yeah.
What a talent. Like, he has cosplayed as Maui.
Yes, Maui is so good.
He's cosplayed as the Crow. Mm-hmm. He's cosplayed as, oh my god, I can't think of her name, but the maid from Family Guy.
Oh, shoot. What is that character's name?
Consuela.
Yes.
Consuela.
Yeah, yes.
He is such a talent, and I love and appreciate him so much. And coincidentally, he's going to be my Mary when we do the Sanderson sisters.
Really?
For ConceCon.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so nice. I love that.
But please go and find him on Facebook
such
and
a
Insta.
Talent.
He is
good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And he's such a warm-hearted individual.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
Indeed. Before we plug ourselves, be sure to follow this live show, facebook.com/Catt Kristen. If you could share it, that would be super stellar. That would be
wonderful.
Great. That
Please.
would be really awesome.
Spread it around.
We also have an Instagram. Instagram, we're Catt Kristen as well, just not the ampersand, just the word and. I'm so sorry to make you type that. It's just that they will not allow
apologizing for typing a word.
I'm so sorry that you have to type two more characters. It's such a time, and I'm just so tired by all of it. It's so tiring. Be sure to go and follow us on Instagram. We always post the pictures of the cosplayers that we feature, and so if you want to directly follow them from those pictures, it's a great opportunity to do so. You can also send us things on there, and
please, we are more than welcome to accept messages, calling cards.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh, should we talk about the Christmas cards?
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
That's it. That's all. I'm wearing a Christmas sweater. That's why I came up. My Christmas sweater, I just need to tell people. This Christmas sweater says, "Is you nasty or is you nice?" And I just like it. That's all.
I am lovingly both.
I feel like
lovingly.
I feel like I am on some level too. I feel like this is a good Slytherin Ravenclaw sweatshirt. Anyway.
But yes, we are having Christmas cards. If you want one, or if you would like one, kindly, please send us your information.
A like does not equal.
A like does not equate.
A like
an
doesn't mean that
name.
I know your address. We obviously will not share your information with anybody, but if you want a card, be sure to let us know pretty soon, because we're going to be sending those out very soon. What's happening with you? Where are you going?
Para español, oprima, marque el ocho.
I've gotten Tomcat drunk, guys. It's all happened. It's all happened. Everything's wonderful.
But yes, that is, if you would like a Christmas card, kindly
They're
send
cute,
us the
y'all.
information.
They're real
adorable.
cute. I'm just gonna say it right
so
now.
darling.
I'm thrilled. Like, this is so great. I even showed one of my coworkers like the draft that you sent me, and she was like, "That's great. That's wonderful." Ding. So plug yourself.
Oh, right, plugging, shameless plugging, anal plugging.
Yep. All right.
You can follow me on Instagram at the.tom.cat. Cat is always spelled with 2 T's. Mm-hmm. You can follow me on Facebook at TomCatConMom. If I like you, I'll add you on my personal Facebook.
And then he'll flip his hair.
And then I'll flip my non-existent hair.
Exactly.
And go ahead.
My stuff is Shut Up Kristen, Kristen, because I'm a 10, not a tin.
I love that.
But no shame to the tins. No shame to the tins. You great. Cookies go in tins. I'm all about cookies. I'm all about cookies, y'all. I'm so about those. Especially Christmas cookies. Ooh, hot damn. You can follow me at Shut Up Kristen. I hope you're still watching.
Cookies going tins.
So honestly, am I really the superior Catt Kristen spelling? I don't know, guys. You also have a thing on the periodic table. There's a lot. So you can follow me on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel, and I actually made a video last year exclusively talking about skinny shaming. And if you look that up on my channel, it's a video I'm kind of proud of. So if you look that up, Shut Up Kristen on YouTube. I've killed Tomcat. It's happened. I am Jerry now.
Nikki's commenting. I love you two drunks.
So that's it.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna have to get some chips.
Tom and gonna have to thumb up.
We gotta go get some chips.
Oh, I'm getting the vapors.
But yeah, Shut Up Kristen, Tomcat. That's both of us. Catt and Kristen.
We'll see you next week, guys. Ciao me for now.
Mumbai, Dubai. Please like.
Please like, subscribe, share, please.
Can you subscribe on Facebook?
I don't care at this point.
Bye.